So many people are with toxic people and they do not know that they're even with a toxic person. They don't know how to get out. They don't know how to be able to move forward, and they're stuck. Stuck thinking maybe this is all that life is going to be. Maybe this is as good as it's going to get. Maybe there's not going to be a better option down the road because this is all that I'm going to have. Are you stuck in a toxic relationship? Are you stuck with a toxic person? A piece of what I do on a day-to-day basis is help people break free mentally and emotionally from toxicity. But the thing is, we have to be able to get you to a place where you understand that the frame that you're in, the world that you're currently existing in, is not working. It's not working. You don't have the facts to be able to prove that your relationship with this person is actually working, as they belittle you, as they put you down, as they beat you up, as they take their words and use them as weapons to make you feel like shit. You see, when you're with a toxic person, the whole goal is to keep you boxed up, to keep you isolated of where they want you. As a narcissist, this was a tactic that a lot of times I would do. It'd be, hey, tell my wife, hey, you should get more friends, but at the same time, make drama and text her a bunch when she's out with friends to show her that, hey, she's not allowed to have friends. The whole goal is like isolate the other person, keep you isolated so you don't actually grow. Some of you have started to taste a little bit of freedom of moving away from the narcissist or setting up boundaries or starting to block and all these things. And all of a sudden it gets worse. And it gets worse because the narcissist is starting to realize that you're tasting freedom and they want to pull you back. The hard thing is some of you can be away from the narcissist, can be no contact, can go to the place of actually, hey, I'm away from this person. I haven't talked to him in a couple months, and you still be a slave to the narcissist. You still be a slave to that person because mentally you're still stuck. You're still stuck with the trauma bond, with the hope that this person is going to get better, with the potential that you guys had as a couple, with the cognitive dissonance of like, I don't know if I believe him or if I don't believe him. And I don't know, hey, what is actually true? Because the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows that happen in a toxic relationship keep you stuck. How many of you right here, right now, would be able to say, hey, I'm not free? If that's you today and you're like, I'm not free, I'm stuck, I'm dealing with the rumination, the trauma bond, I'm stuck, type in not free. Whatever platform you're on, just type in not free. Because I need you to understand there's a lot of people that think, hey, my current reality, my current existence is okay. And we start to minimize the abuse that's actually happening. We start to put down the things that have been happening in your life thinking that it's okay. The highs and the lows, the good times and the low times, you're like, yeah, it's not that bad. It could be worse. He hasn't hit me, so it must not be abuse. He hasn't hurt me that bad, so it must not be abuse. And you start to realize that you can be in a place where you are not free. Here we go, not free, not free, not free, not free, not 100% free, not free, not free, not free. Instagram, not free, not free, not free, not free. Like tons of them. Like, are you seeing this? This whole place of you can be in the relationship, you can even be out of the relationship and still be a slave to the relationship. Because we haven't actually changed what's up here. We haven't changed the story that you're stuck in. You see, I want to be able to talk to you today about the frame of life that you currently live in. I want you to consider for a second that you live in a box. This frame, the square, is made up of a couple different things. The first thing that it's made up of is your stories. Your stories that tell you, hey, it's not that bad. He'll get better. This will work out. And from those stories come these laws that you end up living by. I can either do this or I can't do this in the relationship, because if I do this, I'll get in trouble. If I do this, I'll get yelled at. If I do this, I get abused. If I do this, and on and on. And then you have rules and regulations. These get placed upon you. They've been placed upon you from the beginning of time. Since you were born, they were placed upon you from your family, from your mom and your dad, from your school, from your religion, and then from the toxic partner that made you think this is what is required to actually be with me by you being subservient this way. So if I can paint a picture for you today, I need you to understand that your life right now is stuck in a container and stuck in a box. And it's made up of your stories, it's made up of your laws, it's made up of your rules and your regulations that is keeping you trapped in there. And until you see that unless something changes, you will always be stuck in that box, nothing will ever change. And you will be stuck permanently. This is why people are putting in the chat, not free, not free, not free, not free, not free, because you can be out of the relationship and still be a slave to the relationship because of the fact that you're still trauma bonded to this toxic person. So how do we break you free? How do we actually move through that? It comes down to breaking you out of that frame. The rules, the regulation, the laws, the stories that you're telling yourself. Until we actually break you out of that, by you understanding the facts of the situation, nothing will change. Nothing will be different. You will continue down the same road over and over and over again, thinking that it will get better, and it won't. Take a look at the past 5 months. Take a look at the past 2 years. Take a look at the past 5 years, and you are still stuck. I'm not saying this to beat you up. I'm saying this to jar your reality, to understand that you've been oppressed by a toxic person and you think it's normal because you don't see any other reality. This is what you were raised in. This is what you grew up in. This is what you're used to. You're used to this by how your parents treated you, by how you grew up in different religious organizations. You're used to this. And as a result, it feels normal to be a slave, to be a servant, to be in bondage mentally and emotionally to a toxic person, to the narcissist in your life. Where do you see yourself right now? Of being stuck in this relationship. You will be stuck for a long period of time until you change the story. You're like, but I just love him so much. I want to be with him. Totally get that. That's normal. But I feel crazy because why would I want to go back when he abused and when he hit me? Totally get that. That's normal. But I must be hopeless because I keep wanting to go back. Totally get that. That's normal. You're like, how can you say that's normal? Because that's what I deal with every single day is people that come to Raw Motivations and they're like, I'm confused. I'm lost. I don't know who I am. I don't have any freedom in my life. I am not free. I'm confused. This makes me feel crazy. And I'm like, I totally get it. That's your current frame. That's your current reality. That is the current box that you live in that has dealt with your laws, your rules, your regulations, and the stories that you believe. And until we actually break you out of that, nothing's going to change. Nothing. When I started on the road, first and foremost of like coaching and like working with people, I tried to be able to do more of it on my own. Like, let me try to save you. Let me try to make it better. And I came to the realization that I can't. There's nothing I can do to actually save you, but I can give you the tools and help support you along that journey. But until you actually take up that stand of like, I'm willing to be free no matter what it takes, nothing will change. And you'll still stay stuck.